Mike's around.
All right, Mike's around. All right, this is the December 12th, 2023 meeting of the Town of Amherst Historic Preservation Commission. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mancuso,
Present.
Palmer,
Present.
Swartz,
Here.
Waterman Culpa,
Here.
Hershey, Kenzie,
Here.
for Town Buckeye,
Here.
Fidel here, Quinn,
Here.
Robshaw, Howard,
Okay, all set? All right, the first item, we have the November 21st, 2023 minutes. I had a question on one of the items, but I'm thinking now that it is correct and not incorrect. We had the Hassauer House down. I thought we had said Hedstrom Gatehouse, but they double-checked it, so that is correct.
And then just to please list me as excused from last time. Thank you.
All right. Can we approve the minutes with that modification?
What is the modification?
Just listing,
As excused for November instead of what it says.
yeah,
I did ask before the meeting.
yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, with one abstention. Motion carries. All right. First item of new business, it's actually not really new business, is 400 Mill Street. We have an application for a certificate of appropriateness for the St. Mary's Mother House. Hi,
Hello.
welcome back.
Thank you.
And thank you for providing that executive summary. It was very helpful. Do you have anything you want to tell us? Anything?
2 quick points.
Okay.
One of the reasons that we wanted to get away from slate was safety. Even with brand new slate, it still slides off, and the owner would like to reuse these courtyards, which they're not using now. The other point is, I seriously wonder if in 10 years there will be anybody around who can still repair slate.
Okay.
So I'm just adding those two, what's in black and white.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have?
Should I read my
do-
statement?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, does anyone have any questions? Do we have?
Oh, questions,
Anyone
sure.
have any questions or anything about what's been presented? The materials, we have had them for a couple weeks now. Any questions? Okay, just want to make sure.
Go ahead, Norm.
The bid summary, is that for display here? I know it was sent around, and I assume that's the basis for your recommendation. Can we see that?
What are you looking for?
The summary of all the pricing.
It's probably in here.
It's not.
Oh, it's not in here.
It would be maybe before the pictures. No.
Gary, just so I wrote it down right, you said the 2 things you wanted to add to the letter was,
Safety, I'm worried.
did you say specifically the courtyard?
The courtyards, that's the biggest concern.
And then the 10-year mark
And
for,
I'm just wondering if, in the future, anybody will be able to repair slate.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's not in here, Norm.
the bid sheets from last month, or 2 months ago they were looking for.
They're not in the packets.
It wasn't in the packet, no. Because I think it was handed out at the meeting. So I'm not sure.
It was a separate,
Yeah.
the bid specs are right behind the application in your packet.
Yeah, wasn't it the last sheet on the?
Is what he's looking for.
Is that the Excel sheet?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's different. Yeah, with the numbers. Yep.
yeah, that, it was, I thought it was like on the last page of the application link from a week or so ago.
It's on page 1, it's right here. Towards the back,
Share.
That was last month?
page 1D.
Last month, okay.
Or it's like 105. Pages are at the end of like the color dimensions.
It's not in there.
This is the same thing that you guys have.
I can throw it up on the screen.
That would be great.
Yeah, put it up on the screen.
Oh, yeah, so it's
Which page was that, Brian?
it says it
Keep
1D,
going.
but it should be like packet page 106 basically.
106.
105, I'm sorry.
From which minute packet? October 10th? That wasn't
That I
working.
don't know. It's in the book, the agenda packet for tonight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in the entire, okay. It's just not printed out here.
Do you have it, Kate? I have it here, if you want to
There it is.
show it to me.
How is that in hers?
It's after everything, toward the back.
Yes, no, you're with. Keep going. Keep going. For all that, keep going.
There it is. It's the very last one, right? No?
No, it's before.
Well, she doesn't have it.
That's okay. I can get it right here online. Just one on
Okay, it's right here.
Yep. Yeah, I go from, it wasn't it, so that's okay, I'll just grab it here.
It's right, yeah, it's this page.
Okay, thanks.
There it is.
You got a bad packet, hey. Isn't this what he was looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a question? Well,
that's what you wanted, right? No?
yes.
Okay.
Well, it's this one here. It's just that one there. Yep. So, Gary, the request is synthetic slate, is that right?
Yes, correct. Yes,
The 1.675 million.
yes,
So that's where you're getting half the cost, is because of
Yes.
one bidder that was significantly, we'll say, I mean, the closest bidder to that would be the one next to him
Yes.
or her contractor F, and there's almost $1 million difference.
Yes.
And you had this bid by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 contractors. One didn't bid, so 6 contractors, and 4 of the 6 came back roughly the same exact price. One was high, typical, one was super low, and we're going with the 1.6 is a good bid.
So, remember, bidders A, B, C, and D were all union shops. So their labor is gonna be, 50% higher than.
So what's the discrepancy between F and G if they're both non-union? I can
F-
see discrepancy in D, right? Obviously, weren't looking for the project, they're giving you a bid, it's great, right? They chose to do something. But contractor F, non-union, came in slightly under union, but about the same. So what makes contractor G a responsible bid?
A couple things. First of all, this is the contractor that put the mock-up, as you recall. He's familiar with the site. He bid on it both times. He's been over there a number of times. They've been in business for 60 years. I don't know if you saw that in the executive summary. And they've done a lot of synthetic slate. I'm not sure how much synthetic slate Contractor F has done. Contractor F is out of Caledonia, so he's a little bit of a schlep, but not horrible. And Contractor F honestly is more comfortable doing flat work than he is shingles or sloped work. Where Bezroy, that's all they do. They do not do flat work. The little areas of flat work they would be subbing out to Centimark Roofing.
So, can you say that one more time?
So Bezroy does not do flat roofing, so they would be subbing out those little flat areas to Centimark.
And that's Contractor F?
That's,
I don't know who everybody is.
so Contractor G is Bezroy.
Okay,
Yeah, that's on the letter.
yeah, I saw that. So who's not comfortable with the flat work?
So I'm saying Bezroy really doesn't do flat roofing. They do sloped roofing. They do shingles, they do synthetic slate. So there's little areas where there is some flat roofing in this project between dormers, very minimal. They would be subbing that to Centimark Roofing.
Okay, because you've brought up who these contractors are,
Yes.
that's, we were going off of a tab sheet. I know 2
Yes.
months ago you mentioned who they are, but because you've mentioned them, can Contractor G meet the qualifications, the minimum qualifications for work at a state or national registered property? Are they familiar with the process that they are going to need to, let's say, the extra attention they're going to need to give to this building versus a typical building that they would be doing work on?
I believe so. I think that just the detail and the specs, the copper flashing required, all those things, I think right away you know that it's a special job. And just logistics, the setup, it's not a back your truck up and go kind of thing.
Right, have they done other historic roofs before, and or have they handled, historic landmarks that are on the state national register before?
I can find that out.
That was the roofer that we met.
Correct.
Yep.
I have a question about the warranty on the synthetic slate. Did I read it correctly, it being 50 years?
Yes.
Well, we talked about that
Yes.
before. So let's clarify for the record again.
So it's a 50-year warranty. And you're assuming they'll be in business in 50 years. We certainly hope so. They actually make this product in Holland, New York. And they've been in business for a while. But typically these warranties cover the materials only. There may be a 10-year labor part of it. I've forgotten now, but it's the same with the shingle warranty. Typically they cover the material, and there's a small labor portion they cover for 5 or 10 years.
I thought, I thought I read that there is an option for the property owner to purchase an additional warranty on top of that. Is that correct?
It wouldn't surprise me, and that's something I could find out as well.
I just wondered why they don't have a completion date and a start date.
We talked about this last time, and part of this is part of this, that it's hard to give a start date and a completion date when you don't have a contract, you don't have approval. So for them to say, we're going to start, February 1st or whatever, and don't have a contract, because we've got at least a few weeks of contract preparation, we've got a few weeks of submittals, we have to get building permits, all those things come into play here. So right now, they gave me their best guess, which I believe in the executive summary was April 1st, and they were figuring 180 days.
Other people had some.
Some of them did, yes, yeah.
So following up on Sue's question about warranty, does this price include the 50-year Gold Star warranty or the standard warranty?
I believe it's a standard warranty, but I will, once again, I'll double check that.
Because I do have concerns that the standard warranty is non-transferable, and if this property is sold, it no longer has a warranty on the roof.
Right, that's what I remember reading.
Yep.
That they had to purchase something else to have that be transferable. Any other questions or discussion?
And Gary, do you know how long this property, this material has been on the market?
It's probably been close to 20 years.
Norm, question, Norm Hershey. The, way back on the front, the certificate of appropriateness application for architectural review, but it describes the roof replacement would be replaced with either slate, synthetic slate, or high-end slate like architectural asphalt. But how come that wouldn't be more, well, consistent with what's being proposed here?
So when we put this out for bid, you would ask me to get 3 prices, one for slate, one for synthetic slate, one for shingles, and so we could compare and contrast. And so that's why it was written that way.
And then, Norm, just to clarify, that's the reason that we requested the executive summary to specify the ask. So this really has been amended by that additional document that we got. Right, where he's telling us they want to go with the synthetic slate. So the question before the commission is, are we approving that or not? That's the question.
I'd like to read a statement and propose a motion. St. Mary's Mother House is one of the only handful of buildings located in Amherst, New York that is listed as a local, state, and national historic landmark. Its prominence in holding this honor is due to the building maintaining most of its original features, including the original slate roofing material. I invite the owners to consult the National Park Service Preservation Briefs numbers 4, Roofing for Historic Buildings, and 29, the repair, replacement, and maintenance of slate roofs, as well as a June 19th, 28 article stating, quote, "The use of artificial mineral fiber slate is not recommended for restoration work since its rigid appearance is that of a man-made material versus natural. Artificial slates may also have a tendency to fade over time. And although artificial slate costs less than natural slate, the total initial cost of an artificial slate roof is only marginally less than a natural slate roof. This is because all other costs associated with replacing a slate roof, such as labor, flashings, tearing off the old roof, are equal in both cases," unquote. After review of these documents and my own personal review, it is for these reasons that I shall make a motion to deny the use of an alternative material as a replacement for the original slate roofing material.
Can I make a couple statements? In that? Real slate fades as well. This, I think, yes, it is a synthetic slate, but it is easier to install because you can cut it with a circular saw. You can put it on with a pneumatic nailer. There's a big labor savings, believe me, and there's much less waste. With real slate, you're figuring at least 10% waste trying to cleave the pieces to make them fit. So I know it's easy to say, but I'm telling you that once this is up there, nobody would know the difference.
Should we have discussion?
Okay, so a motion's been made to deny the request. Is there any discussion on the motion? Oh, that's right, sorry. We need a second on the
I'll
motion to
second,
deny.
and then I would like to discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I would like for the motion to be amended to include that the proposed product has not been in existence for the length of time of the standard warranty, and therefore has not been fully tested to know if its lifetime will last through the warranty period. Also, that by the removal of the existing slate roof and replacement with an alternative material, the owners preclude their ability to receive historic tax credits for a slate roof in the future, or for a roof rehabilitation in the future. And that when looking at the majority of the bids, the difference between the slate and synthetic slate prices were only separated by the recoupable amount of savings of the tax credit. Credits, plural.
Get the entirety of the first part. The material being proposed is not long enough to warrant.
Has not been around long enough to test its lifespan. Versus the
Supported 20 years.
the standard or even gold level warranty.
Technically unproven.
Technically unproven. Thank you, Jennifer.
Can I say something else?
I think we're in the middle of
Okay.
We're in the middle of a motion
I'm
now, so it's kind of,
I'm a liaison, but just again, bringing up a point I brought up in October, when Brian brought up the point about the possible tax credits, you know, that's another variable that should have been considered, because that could have accounted for a price reduction, taking into account using tax credits. And it doesn't sound like
Ma'am,
that
it
really
was.
fully explored.
It was, yeah. The ownership group is not a simple ownership group, so the tax credit part just wouldn't work in this, for these people.
I didn't hear that.
So it's not a simple, like, one owner. There's an ownership group here, there's a few partners, so the tax credit thing wouldn't work out for these people.
Did you pursue that?
They looked into it, correct. Gesundheit.
any other discussion?
I got a follow-up question. They can't pursue it because there are multiple owners, or the multiple owners just weren't interested?
It was explained to me, because of the way the ownership group is set up, that the tax credits wouldn't work for them.
So it would be prohibitive? That's what you're, so I guess the question, is it prohibitive or prohibited? Or were they just not interested because they really want the synthetic product?
No, they were serious, they were interested, but it was just explained to me that it doesn't work for our legal setup.
Okay, well, it's,
Any other
that's what he said.
Is the motion seconded? And am I-
motion is seconded?
It
so
was,
it's
it was
ready.
amended and seconded?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
no, all right.
You
So,
didn't vote on the amendment,
all right,
did you?
so the motion was amended. Do we have a second for the amended motion?
So he would have to, so I made the motion to amend it?
He made the motion, you seconded, and then you said you wanted to amend his
Yes,
motion.
yes.
So I'm seeing this as still his motion,
Okay.
and he's amending it, right?
So I would say something like I would accept the amendments into the initial motion.
Right. Okay, so now, and if we need a second for the amended, I'll make the second for the amended, okay? Are we ready to vote?
Well, you should vote on the amendment.
And then go back?
Yeah. You'll
Okay.
vote on your amendment, and then you'll go back to the original motion as amended.
All right, well, okay, go ahead, yeah,
So we're discussing the motion at this moment
as
then?
amended.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just want to speak up and restate what I said in the last meeting, and I think the historic structure goes beyond the actual construction to the finest duplication of the original. With that in mind, and with consideration towards some of the points made by Gary on behalf of the owner, and I fully concur with those practical thoughts. I have to, I have to realize that our support that the synthetic slate be considered a viable replacement. So that's just my personal thought on that. Thank you.
And any other discussion? And then we're going to vote on the amended. We're voting on the amendment of the motion, okay? And then, Debbie, do I have to?
So you'll technically, I think you vote on the amendment. You had a first and a second, so you vote on the amendment, and then you return to the original motion as amended.
Got it. All right, so right now, we're going to have a vote on the amendment. Is it okay to amend the motion as has been proposed?
I have
adding
2 master's degrees and I still don't understand.
Adding the additional commentary, really, it's just the additional rationale to the motion, okay? So we're going to have a vote on that. And we're not going to do that as a roll call, right? Can we just say all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Does anyone oppose the amendment of this?
I'll abstain.
You're I don't know if he can abstain.
I oppose that.
Well, but we're not voting on it on the merits, we're just voting on modifying the language, that's all. We're just talking about
If it
modifying language.
helps.
So
I
adding
mean,
what I added to Brian's.
That's all we're doing.
If
We're
you
not-
don't want it, then.
Then I
Okay, all right, so all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No, to amendment of the motion. All right, got it. So now, the motion as amended, all right? Can we have, and it has been, do we have to do another second on it? Or we're all good with that?
I'll second it.
No, your original motion was a first and second. You amended it, first and second, so you return to the original motion as amended. So,
Okay, so we have the original motion as
just to
amended.
be on the safe side, why don't you do a first and a second and take the vote?
Okay. Brian, do you want to read the motion as amended?
You want me to make my statement or just read the?
Why don't you make the motion and read it?
But with everything now.
Yep.
Make a motion to deny the request.
I shall make a motion to deny the use of an alternative material as a replacement for the original slate roofing material at St. Mary's Mother House, 400 Mill Street, Amherst, New York. You want me to read the entirety?
And this is rationale, okay, so.
St. Mary's Mother House is one of only a handful of buildings located in Amherst, New York that is listed as a local, state, and national historic landmark. Its prominence in holding this honor is due to the building maintaining most of its original features, including the original slate roofing material. I invite the owners to consult the National Park Service Preservation Briefs numbers 4, roofing for historic buildings, and 29, the repair, replacement, and maintenance of slate roofs, as well as a June 19th, 2018 article stating, quote, "The use of artificial mineral fiber slate is not recommended for restoration work since its rigid appearance is that of a man-made material versus natural. Artificial slates may also have a tendency to fade over time. And although artificial slate costs less than natural slate, the total initial cost of an artificial slate roof is only marginally less than of a natural slate roof. This is because all other costs associated with replacing a slate roof, such as the cost of labor flashings and tearing off the old roof, are equal in both cases," unquote. Amendment. Number 1, the material being proposed has not been around long enough to test its lifespan, a purported 20 years, and is technically unproven. Number 2, by the removal of the existing slate roof, the replacement of alternative material, the owners preclude their ability to obtain historic tax credits in the future. Number 3, by looking at the bids, the difference between the prices could be recoupable through tax credits.
So that is the motion. Do we have a second for this motion?
I will second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion as amended? Okay, we have a roll call vote, please.
Before you vote, can I, no, I'm done?
I think
Okay.
Unless someone, do you want to hear what he has to say? I mean, we've,
There's something really wrong with, this is not a mineral fiber slate. Mineral fiber slate was another product they used on the Ecology and Environment building in Lancaster. It failed. It was a product they used on one of the City of Buffalo schools, on the elementary school.
53.
Yeah. So this is not, the two different products. So that, just correcting that.
okay. So that was a comment. All right. Are we ready to vote? All right, roll call vote, please. So there's a motion to deny, okay?
Mancuso,
I abstain.
Palmer,
Aye. Yes.
Schwartz,
I vote to deny.
Waterman Culpa,
I vote to deny.
Hershey,
I'm against the denial.
So he would vote no on a
So you're
denial.
a no.
You vote no.
Okay.
Kenzie,
Yes.
If you're for the denial, yes.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-2.
1, 2, 3, yes. Motion passes 4 to 2.
4 to 2. No,
Four-
there's an
well,
abstention.
1 with 1
4,
abstention.
1 with 1 abstention. Got it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, guys. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Gary.
I feel like we need to give Gary a hug.
I know.
But maybe Gary wants to stick around for one more second. So I would like to send this matter to the building department that there has been a roof replacement without the proper permitting, and for the building department to utilize their toolbox to rectify the situation. Do I need to make a motion as such?
Yes.
I will, that is my motion.
I will second.
So what is the motion again, just so everyone understands what it is?
To send enforcement to ask the building, ask the building department to enforce that the building has a partially replaced roof without the proper permitting, including a certificate of appropriateness. They do. But now there's a denial on the table, and we don't have a path forward at this point. And we've been doing this for, I don't know, has it been a year yet?
February.
Here, almost.
Almost a year. So I just don't want this to be forgotten.
Okay, so we have a motion, and we have a second, and the motion is to, I guess I have a question for council. Is she here, Nora? Is this something that we have the authority to act on? Can we do this? I just want to make sure we're. Yeah.
Yep.
You could refer it, that's okay.
We're referring it?
Referring it,
Thank
right?
you. The right word, Deb, referring it.
Is the attorney, but refer,
Okay.
right?
All right, so motion to refer it to, okay. Got it. All right, any other discussion?
On the motion, yeah,
Again, Norm, again, I'm just curious what action this would result in short term and what good it would do.
That's for the building department to decide.
Yeah, the building department will decide.
That's for them to work out with.
Yeah. I mean, basically what this is, the way that I am envisioning this is, I'm thinking out loud here because this is new. Just kind of letting them know, we're saying, don't forget about it. We're saying, be aware of it. Be aware of the fact that we have this situation. There hasn't been any action taken, although we don't know, to be honest with you, whether there has been action taken, but in essence, we're saying, referring it, and perhaps they have, perhaps they haven't, we don't really know.
We
Just
were
let you
told
mention it.
10 months ago that there was a dire situation here. It's gone through 10 months. It's going into another winter. I want the building department to have their eyes on it and do what they think they need to do.
Okay. Right. Any other questions? Any other discussion? All right, so, we have a roll call vote, please?
Mancuso? Palmer?
Yes.
Schwartz?
yes.
Waterman Culpa?
Yes.
Hershey? Kinsey?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-1. Thank you. All right, next item on our agenda is 2024 meeting schedule. James has it on the screen.
So if this schedule is satisfactory, I can submit this to the supervisor's office for finalization.
I had a thought. Why the February, March dates not being, oh, the February date, why is that?
So it's the second, they're scheduled for the second Tuesday of every month.
I misread that.
I have a thought. Is it just been tradition that we have not met in July because of people's vacation schedules, basically? But July is usually a busier month in the construction season.
It won't be affecting me, but I just want to, it's been like this forever. We've never had an issue that has been a problem for not meeting in July, and you can always have the ability, you can always call a special meeting if you need one.
I thought maybe swapping one of the months might work out better. If not, that's fine.
It's up to you, and it's a
And
quorum
whatever
issue
the
also. You
end
want to make
dates,
sure you're going to have a
Yeah.
quorum in July, and sometimes you might not,
About the
depending.
staff.
Are we okay with it?
Dan, do you have any thoughts to remain with no July meeting?
Right. Yeah, it's always been that way. Are we good? Should we vote on it? Sure. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 meeting dates.
I'll make a motion, or I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, motion carries 6-0. All right, 2023 budget. Excuse me, last meeting, we talked about the fact that we still have some money to spend. And we were going to spend it on plaques. And I also got information and an invoice for, from Preservation Buffalo Niagara for their lower, which one is it? Where is it? James, this is in here, right? It's in the back of the packet?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the invoices? Yeah, right.
It's on the last page.
Okay, got it. I was just trying to find the information I gave. The, yeah, for the, here it is. The, no, that's not the right one. The lower level, the $250 level.
And this is to continue it through the end of 2024?
Yes, and that would provide you with a Preservation 101 training, one other custom training, and then don't forget you have a leftover training from this year that will carry over to next year. So that would give you the 3 trainings that you need if you choose to use them for that at $250. We have, depending on who you ask, right, James? We have, on my calculation, we have $2,124.69 left in our budget. James, what was the number that you got? Is it 3,000? I mean,
No, we had
it's
some
not 3,000. I mean,
approvals.
it's just not right. I don't know why that number is coming from there. But because we paid you and we paid for the printing for
Right.
Preservation Day, and they haven't taken anything out. No,
Yeah.
Preservation Day, remember, you got a check?
Yeah, I didn't get a check.
That's probably why it's still
Didn't
saying
get a check.
3,000 in the main account.
I
But
put
in
it,
theory, we've spent it.
Okay, well, that's a problem. James?
so I didn't get a check to reimburse me. I submitted my invoices.
And the copy store perhaps didn't get a check either, and maybe that's why we still have $3,000 in our budget. Okay, the mystery solved here, okay? That makes me feel much better. All right, so we still have, then, my math
a
is
donation.
probably correct, we have $2,124.69 left after we take out those amounts that we approved for Preservation Day in September. So if we do the plaques, the invoice for the plaques, I was able to get an invoice for the plaques without addresses on them. Basically, the price will be the same regardless of what the address is. And that's $955.40. And the $250 brings us up to $1,205.40. So that would leave us $919.29. If we decided to do those 2 items, we still have $919.29. Did you have some things?
I did. Am I making a motion or just bringing it up?
Well, let's just discuss, and then maybe we'll have a motion to approve
Okay.
the whole thing.
So I looked into the NAPC, it's the, I should get this right, the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions. And a number of us are actually a part of it, though we may not even know. In fact, I meant to print that out. So because one of the trainings we did earlier in the spring was a camp one through them, anyone who attended that has had a free membership through, it'll go through June. And there's some people that I have a whole list of the attendees, which a lot of people were on. But that said, our general membership then would all expire in June. To join as a group, we could do, and I confirmed with, I think her name was Marie at the organization, we would be considered a medium organization, and so it would be $100 for the year, and then we would provide that, she said they send us a Excel spreadsheet, and everyone or anyone, including you guys, like whoever they put on would be part of our organization, and then open to participate in any of the lectures and resources and whatnot that they have to offer throughout that year. So I know I've done a couple of them, and they're really pretty informative, and I think they can likely provide us with, sometimes we run into stumbling blocks about how do we handle this, or how do other people you know? We can't be the first and only ones to encounter some of these situations, and I think they'd be a good resource to utilize. So I would put forth for the $100 for a whole lot of people to take advantage of that.
Like, can I just interject real quick?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Thursday, there's a webinar called Early 20th Century Architecture, Looking to the Past and the Future. And I'm signing up for that one because we're looking at these 20th century neighborhoods right now on Chateau. And, you know, I think that their topics have been very poignant to some of the materials that we've had to review and decide on lately.
Yeah, and one that I still have the recording, and that's the other nice thing. If you can't make them, you sign up and you get the recording to watch at your leisure, which is, I find, really helpful. But the one, I think it's called like the ABCs of Historic Designation, and I thought that was interesting. I think, Norm, you had even mentioned like how, you know, what kind of factors go into places that were nominated, so. I don't know what more we need on that.
No, I think it sounds like a great idea. I think I'll do separate motions on these, just, like, I'll do one and you can do one for that. Anything else we want to spend money on? 2023 budget money on? Kate, no ideas? All right, well, I will, are there any questions about the plaques or Preservation Buffalo Niagara? Do you want to?
So the plaques, do they keep them, or we're going to actually give them verbiage before they finalize them?
Oh, yeah, no, they won't start them until we give them the addresses.
Okay, so we'll give them the addresses, approve. Who is that all going through? Is it going through James or you?
Well, that's what I talked to Mary Lou and asked her if she wouldn't mind.
Great.
Because I contacted both of the two that I thought I was supposed to contact and left messages. They didn't call me back. So she was going to go and actually knock on doors for the two, but we'll clarify what two they are when we get to that part in the agenda. But I would envision James, James has the invoice, okay? So he can, unless someone on the commission or James has an issue with that, he can just communicate. At this point, it's just emailing the vendor and basically saying, these are the addresses. They've done them for us before. It's,
Great.
it's pretty straight, and they're very easy to work with, so.
Thank
I
you.
didn't have any issues with that. So if we're okay with that, can I make one motion with the two, and she have one motion with the one, or do they all have to be separate motions for authorization for the budget for, does anybody?
Let's do them separate.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to make a motion that that we spend out of our 2023 budget the amount of $1,205.40 as follows. $955.40 payable to Franklin Bronze Plaques for two plaques for historic properties, addresses to be determined, and the amount of $250 payable to Preservation Buffalo Niagara for a membership. What was it? What is the membership?
Protector Circle level.
Protector Circle level membership for 2024.
I'll second.
I thought we were putting them together, no.
Well, and then you do one. Okay. All right, we had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carries 6-0. Now do yours. Yeah.
I make a motion to use funds from the 2023 budget for a one-year membership with the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions, a medium organization, for $100.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carries. Okay, great. So that takes care of that.
Now, there's still money left over, so what happens to that?
Goes to the town.
Yep.
Right. Well, so when we get to All right, I'll just mention it now. Is there any money that's going to be needed to do any of the work on the signs, on putting the signs up? Rem- Okay, so, and that would be coming out of our budget? Would it
Yeah.
be?
I assume so, unless, like I said, last month, I'd be cautious about using town forces to put those up.
Oh,
So, I think facilities guys can handle one of them. I don't know about the one I'm worried about. That was the one that's so, yeah, you should include the cost of that.
It's a guess.
Yeah, or we can always do it next year. We have invoice.
So we can't really approve anything now because we don't have an invoice for what that would be? Okay, so we can't.
And it's not gonna be.
$800.
$800 left.
800, I think.
800, 819.29 we've got left.
No, there's no way it's.
so who's going to do the installations?
All right, can we wait, can we just wait till we get to that? We'll get to that on the
Well,
agenda.
I just want to know if, about invoicing from them.
Oh, okay, okay, sure.
So who's doing the installation?
Well, for Harlem Road, that was just gonna be facilities department that can do it. They're capable, and willing.
And will they charge the Historic Preservation Commission to do the
No,
work?
no.
Okay.
So for the Main Street, street furniture, it, by jurisdiction, because they're in the right of way, it would be the highway department. We would probably want to maybe look at more, other people who are more, you know, attuned to being able to affix a plaque to a historic stone furniture,
And
piece of street furniture.
who owns the historic stone furniture?
Well, the town does,
Okay.
yeah.
We were gonna see if there was
So-
any open contracts or any ability to do a change order or
That's
something
not
like
gonna
that.
get done in the next
No.
2 or 3 weeks.
I couldn't anyway because of the.
No.
weather. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay. All right, next item is commission membership. I would like to change the order on the agenda and handle this last. Does anyone have any issues with that? Do I have to make a motion to do that?
No, because it's old business.
It's old business. All right, we're going to talk about that last. Okay. 2023 annual report. Last month, I gave you, so there are 2 annual reports that the commission does. I did drafts of both of them, and the second one will be finished by the new chair. And I shared that with him, with James, so he has it. If you want to use it, fine, and if he doesn't, if you don't, you want to do your own, that's fine too. The one that you have in front of you, we went over last month, and that is the CLG. I made, we discussed this, I made some language changes and based on the comments that I got from you, Brian. So this can either be approved now so it can be sent out before the end of the year, or you can continue to work on it and it can be sent out by the next commission chair.
I just had a point of clarification when I was looking at number 6, overall CLG program, and then when it said, describe any goals or new initiatives for the upcoming year. Do you mean going into 2024, or is this referring to 23? Because you have here a sentence, a public hearing and decision on this will be forthcoming in early 2023? Is that what you wanted to say, or should it say 24?
Oh, it should say 24, yeah.
24, okay,
It's a typo. Yep.
okay.
That's in number 6?
Number 6, right on the paragraph on the bottom,
Oh, yeah, 2024, that should be.
okay?
Yep. No,
And
it's
my-
just a typo here.
Other question was, on this report, or maybe that there's a different report that's a narrative for the town, I would make a suggestion, because I know with like Diversity Commission, they always put the names of the members and like the liaison or any staff that help. So I think it's nice to give people, you know, some credit for the work that they've done.
And if you see up here in the top, that will be added. Okay. I said, please attach a list of current commission board members, including contact information and resumes of new members.
Oh,
That
okay.
That will be
Okay.
attached
Okay,
to the draft.
and liaison?
and liaison, sure.
Okay, thank you.
And then, like I said, I did the draft, the year, these are different. This is not on a calendar year, so when you put the two of them together, they don't, the numbers aren't the same, the approvals aren't the same, because this is through September 30th, and the other one is through the calendar year. So that will have one more in it, because we had this one tonight. So when you compare them, they're not supposed to be the same, all right? So it's up to you. You can make a motion to approve this, and we can send it out, or you can hold it over till next month. It's fine, whatever you'd like to do.
I'll make a motion to.
I'll make a second to that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome. So I will send that out. Well, we will, James, you've got this information up here, right? So we can put that on? Okay. And you've got all the resumes and everything that you need to do that? You don't need resumes or anything from anybody? Okay, good. All right, we will get that out. All right, Chateau Terrace Historic District, any news?
So I met with Dan Howard, James Quinn, about a week and a half ago, 2 Fridays ago. And we discussed procedure for potentially hiring a consultant type person to write up all the material that's going to be necessary to complete an application. Have not done that yet. It's in my queue. So I think that's the route we're going to go. Is we're going to try and find a contracted person to help us out and get the information we need.
So I think the proper procedure would be that the Historic Preservation Commission go through finding the consultant
Yep.
and then would make a recommendation to the town board to hire said consultant. I think that's a good way to test the temperature of the town board's willingness to see this project through to completion, and if not, maybe adjust course.
Are they required for contract approval like that? Do they?
Well,
Right.
I thought we were talking an intern. Weren't we talking more about an intern as opposed to a consultant?
Yeah, we discussed an intern has a set amount of time that comes with that person and a certain amount of work, and I'm almost sure we're not going to use up that amount of time. I think Amherst has maybe a template or something like that that they use to hire interns, and our work won't fulfill the amount. Right. You'd hire, right. Which I have to write. So
put it
that's
together an
my,
RFP.
yeah, that's my charge. Haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, great. Sounds like a really good idea.
So the money for the consultant, is that out of our budget or is that from the town? Out of your budget.
Out of our budget.
So it's within our annual. Yep. $3,000. Yep.
That's it. Okay.
so lots of things to talk about in January.
Very much so.
Okay.
All right. 22 Chateau Terrace Garage Demolition Referral. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this.
I will second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Local landmark plaques. Okay, so I reached out to two property owners, 38 Richfield, and twice, and received no response. And also, I believe I reached out to the owners of the Hedstrom Gatehouse. Okay. Mary Lou, I thought that these were the two that you had mentioned when I wasn't here in the meeting in October. I guess I wrote them down wrong on my notes. And so Mary Lou has offered to follow up because we need to get this nailed down right away because we need to order these plaques, okay? So, to follow up on Richfield, Hedstrom Gatehouse was not one of the ones that you visited?
Hedstrom Gatehouse was not one of the ones I visited, but I had spoken to him on a couple of occasions. And I did speak to him again today, and he already has a plaque.
So that we
And
don't
we
need
can
that one.
visit that plaque at the extreme left-hand side of his house, which states that the town of Amherst designated his home as a historic preservation site, and it was built circa 1820
Okay,
as a landmark.
all right.
The 38 Richfield is the one I did visit this summer and spoke to the male owner. And he said they would be very receptive. I recalled them from the time they approached the commission about getting windows, I believe it was. And they were he was just as friendly as they were that time they came here. Debbie, do you remember them coming?
Yeah, I remember. them too.
Anyway, he said that he couldn't speak for his wife, but he would be fine with getting a plaque. I would have no problem going there again.
All right, so I'm going to suggest that Mary Lou do that. Is there what is the other address that we were talking about? We were talking about the,
I mentioned the Park School.
right, and those are going to be
Yeah, too
big
high.
projects. I
Yeah,
reached,
right.
that's going to the board and all of
Yeah,
that. So
right.
that, if you want to do those, you really should start the beginning of next year because it's going to take months to
Okay.
get those things to go
Yep.
through.
You're asking for the plaques to be installed now?
Right, well, we're ordering two. We're ordering two, so we really need to know who wants those two, yeah.
Last time we talked about the Hausauer house?
Yeah,
That's correct. I visited that house this summer, and the owner was there, and she was very
okay,
agreeable. I went there to search for a plaque, there's no plaque, and
okay,
she was very agreeable to having one, so. I
okay.
think that's-
All right, so Mary Lou, would you be willing to follow up on that one too?
The Hausauer house, I can do that.
Norm, can
You
yeah,
want,
he
you want
met
to do
them,
that?
yeah.
Okay, all right, so you'll follow up with them. That needs to happen, yeah. That is 1,000 North Forest. 1,000 North Forest, yeah. Actually, that would be a good one to put a plaque on. That is very visible. That house is, lots of traffic on North Forest. All right, so are we okay with doing those two? Those would be the addresses for these. The only thing is, Norm, we really need that done like ASAP, because we really have to get the order in, so. They're gonna put it on.
They're supposed to maintain it under some conditions. Might want to get some kind of correspondence that says, yeah, we accept this, and we're going to maintain it, or we sell the house, because otherwise, I don't know that you can actually come with somebody.
You can't.
Do it?
No.
You can't.
You're spending town funds, so you should have some kind of take it out on their house, and the town forces put it on the house.
Mhm. All right, well, you can write that in January.
Whatever kind of conditions or arrangements you want to make, put it right now.
Yeah, I mean, with the understanding that you're, yeah. Okay, well, the commission can. Well.
So,
Right, well, I'm going to just express my views on this. I see this as an opportunity to show these property owners that we appreciate the fact that they have historic properties and they are maintaining them, okay? And so, although it would be ideal for them to mount it and maintain it and keep it up for a lifetime, I don't know that we could force that issue anyway, or whether the town would want to be paying lawyers to drive around and see if these things are being maintained. And when somebody buys the house, you can't tell them, unless we're recording things, right, Nora? Unless we're recording things with the land, we can't have it binding on new property owners that buy the house. So to me, I think it's great if, and maybe the legal department, the town attorney's office can come up with some language we could put in a letter, you know, that would thank them and ask them to do something like that.
Having it be, since there's no consideration or anything, having it be like a non-binding,
Right.
not like a restricted covenant or
Right,
something like that.
right.
But Mr. Howard, that is a good point, having it, something in writing and being more like, this is a gift, this is an honor.
Right, right. It's almost like, you know, we're honoring your property. Thank you for being one of our landmarks, and, you know, these are both properties that where we have seen, well, actually, Hess Harbor House, I don't think we have, but the other one we have. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right, but it can't, I don't think it can be like a binding condition. It's more, you know, this is what we're intending, we're hoping that you would put it up, we're anticipating that you would, and they would
display
say
it prominently.
Yeah, of course.
I think there should be some kind of correspondence, just so that they think about it, at least.
Right.
Even if it isn't enforceable or binding, but you know, if you're given a gift with a letter,
Right.
they would think about it. Maybe they would think twice.
Absolutely. Okay, so maybe we,
Can we get that before we talk to them?
no,
or-
so that's the question.
I think we should talk to them and time of, make sure that they agree with the general point that we
Yeah,
did say.
confirm it in writing.
At the very least, again, I'm not trying to be over-officious.
Mm-hmm.
That they might sign a paper that acknowledges receipt of it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Not that it's given out and stuff.
Right,
I
okay.
think that's highly appropriate at the time of
Yeah.
transference, that
Yeah.
we ask them just to sign off that they've received it. And then before that, it can just be a verbal agreement.
And,
Okay.
but they should understand that they are mounting it. We're not mounting, we're not taking responsibility for mounting it. We don't want to put them up and have it damage anyone's property and have them feel, you know, now they're going to come back to the town and say, well, you put this up and it wasn't the right spot or any of that. So it's their responsibility to mount it, determine the location, although we would like it to be in a prominent space, but obviously it's got to be an appropriate location. This is not a small plaque, this is a big plaque.
Again, so James, looking at you, you're gonna wanna create a file, something that, so this, you need a record, I spent the money, where it went.
Sure.
What happened to it. It's pretty simple, just take the documentation, keep it in a file somewhere. So we know that. And someone can back and ask.
Mm-hmm.
so for you to go forward, Judy, all you need from us is a verbal commitment that they said yes.
I believe so, yes. And then we can order, we can just, at that point, James can just contact her and give her those addresses, and then they'll move forward with the plaques.
So contact James.
We'll let James know that those are the two addresses for the plaques.
And then they're gonna send a proof. Right. And then, okay the proof, and then.
Yeah.
Then they will order them.
Well, it's technically ordered, because it's gotta be ordered, okay?
Right.
It's, and the way we did it last year is the same way we did it this year. It's ordered. I mean, it's, you know, we have an invoice, so, they're just a question is, what do you want it to say? All right, does that sound like a good plan? All right, great. Next item is update on CLG Grant Commission and Preservation Day. So, James, can you find out what the story is with, I mean, we know that one person hasn't been reimbursed with the money that should have been, and so.
I take you talking about Kate.
Yeah, and so it's very likely that the copy store didn't get paid either if they don't have
So,
this money
well,
coming in.
we called Cop Store. They said they were paid. So that's,
By who?
I need to follow up with Amy.
Okay.
I use the wrong account number or something.
Did it go out of the
Maybe
wrong
it's the
budget line? Yeah, I mean,
Potentially, but I will need to obviously follow up with Kate to.
yeah, Kate
figure out what
didn't
the
get
request
paid.
is and Go back. Do that.
Couple $100. All right. Okay, thanks. On that, other than that, you have everything that you need to close out the grant, correct? I gave you the invoice from, and I gave you the written report
The advice
from Ben and
okay.
the written report from Ben.
Preservation of the
Right.
Yes, yeah, you did pass that one.
So you've got that, and so if there's anything else that you need,
So I need the narrative for the report.
that's what I sent you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
With the invoice.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that's the narrative I've got. If you need something else in that, you're gonna have to communicate
That's
with them
perfect.
directly.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
For the grant agreement, so just send that to Linda Mackey.
Okay.
Mention.
Are you gonna look at this at all, or are you good with? I don't know. I didn't close it out before. I wasn't involved in that part.
If you need anything from me, let me know, otherwise close it out.
Okay.
So we can ask for more money.
Right, yeah.
All right. Yeah, we wanna do it right. All right, so then y'all will be talking about Preservation Day next year, I'm assuming, figuring out what you're gonna be doing with that. And that's all I got on that one. Education plan, website, presentations. The website pictures still have to go up, James? God bless you.
So yeah, we have an updated list of landmarks. So we have an accurate list of the landmarks that are in the town. The members, I put that ticket in with IT, but they said I got to go through the town clerk for it. So I'll get on that.
Well, and it makes sense to do that in January anyway, 'cause
Yeah.
that's when it all changes.
In any case, and then the pictures. I do have your pictures, but is there captions that you want to go with them, or you just want them right on the webpage?
Well, I mean, I just handed them over and figured that they would decide which ones they wanted to post and how many. It all depends on how much room they've got on the page and all of that. I mean, are they?
Want someone to review it?
Well, I guess I'm saying IT is not going to tell you that.
Oh, they don't decide
They
that?
will not
Okay.
decide. They
All right.
strictly ask for specific instructions of what you want to do.
So do they do a page that's not live? So they're gonna have to make another page for all that, another link to that. It's not gonna all.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be a
Got one
link.
picture up there now, and you're gonna have at least a couple more.
Yeah. So maybe if I could just have a little bit of guidance as far as, I mean, I have the pictures. Do you want them in like, here was a specific event on a specific day? Should they go into that link? Because I guess, like, I have the pictures. I guess I just need a little bit of context.
I can stay with you.
If it, yeah, like, it doesn't have to be, and I'm not saying you have to have a report for each one. I'm just saying,
They've
what
got
are they
pictures
from?
of Preservation Day, they've got pictures
Preservation
of
Day
the day
2023.
Yeah, sure. That's all.
August something
all.
at the BNHV.
I can sit with you.
Perfect.
Time is it by
I
all?
tell you what, I can give you, kind of show you where my list of pictures are, and
I can write a little.
yeah, exactly, not a problem. I will follow up with Brian Sports.
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay. Yep, and then just adding that list of properties to it, and that you could do all that in January, so that's no big deal. That's all I've got on that, and then your training. So, everyone, I think, Kate, did you get the email? Fill out the thing? Okay. So, everybody else did? I've got everybody else's training in for the year end?
Did
Yes,
someone send it to me?
It's a fillable.
before last month.
Yeah.
It was an email.
Oh,
You
good
probably
God,
missed
I have
it.
no idea.
From me. Just a link to that Google form.
Okay, I'll look.
So that's all. So you just fill that out, and everyone else did. And James has a link to it, right, James? So you've got the spreadsheet in the back, so James has all the information on the training that was done this year. Everyone got that in. Good job. So that's done too. Everything's done. So that brings us to membership. So for membership, we're going to make a motion to go into an executive session for purposes of interviewing someone who might be a prospective member.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carries 6-0. So we're going to ask everyone except for our potential candidate to leave the room while we have a conversation for a few minutes, if that's okay.
They're kicking you out, Mr.
All right, motion carries 6-0. Do I make a motion to reopen the meeting? What do we think? Let's do it. Okay. Second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carries 6-0. Okay, meeting is back open.
Can I make a motion to recommend Jeffrey Applement as a candidate for the Amherst Historic Preservation Commission, with a term starting in January of 2024?
And
Do we have to send that to the town board?
the town board does it, yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just take this and give it to Marty Taggart, our secretary of the board, that the group is recommending him.
Yep. So is there a second to recommending him?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No. No, I think he'd be a great fit. So that leaves you with, you're staying?
Yeah, but I'm only, if there's a 2-year term, I'll take that.
Let's see. Actually,
who's the
hold
chair?
on. In terms of,
The-
that
the-
might just be for chairperson.
We only have 2 left.
So the opening is, was the historian. Wait a minute, the historian, it should be less than 4 because the historian has already been empty for a full year. So it should be 3 at the most. At the most. And,
That was the spot, what was his name?
already.
Paul Redding. Vacated.
Oh.
Group is,
He's been around for
oh, yeah, at least, yeah.
So, well, his term ended
So I'll
last year.
take the lowest term, so it's probably 3.
Okay. All right, do we have to do anything to make that happen? So Debbie, would you make that recommendation as well for her to be reappointed?
Give this, I'm going to give this to Marty, and I'm going to recommend, I'm going to say that the Historic Preservation Commission would recommend consideration of this person to be appointed by the town board. I'm sure they're going to do it.
And I guess I'll do a re-up.
And her,
And yes, that you wanted 2 years.
3.
3
Mhm.
years. And what category?
I'm an architect.
Okay.
all right. So that will,
If they don't want me, that's okay too. It's okay
no, I'm
too.
told that happens in January.
For sure, one person really.
Yeah, and maybe she should abstain.
Okay, so that means that we still have 1 opening.
You have 2, don't you? Because you have,
Yeah,
We
here.
have 1 more
We
opening.
have 1 more
If Jeffrey's
opening. If
appointed.
If he takes mine,
yeah.
so then we still have, she's taking
Mine.
Kate's already there, so.
Reading. So,
2 more openings.
no, we have 7,
So if Kate stays and Sue's gone in January, there would be 2 vacancies.
2 vacancies.
Right, but one,
We have
But
1
what about
here.
Miss Sue?
no, one gets filled by Jeff, so that
Correct.
leaves.
That leaves 1 other, we still have 1 other one.
One other 4-year appointment.
Yes. So we still need another person.
Is she hiding?
I'm asking,
I know, I think she's hiding.
is there anyone else that might be interested?
Aww.
So then you have to be surplus for
Yeah, there's too many. There should be just 7.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 7
You got 8,
members.
yeah, you got
Good.
1 too many.
Who drew this?
I did. Must have been real early in the morning or late in the day.
Jeffrey takes 2, Kate stays.
And I did it because I thought it would be helpful.
It's very helpful, but it's not right.
But it's not right.
It's incorrect.
So just get rid of that red.
Wow,
Oh,
that's awesome. Where's that graphic from?
Smart art. Don't sleep on smart art. That's a good way to communicate. Yeah. It's in Microsoft. Just one of your tabs.
So,
So now it's back?
is it appropriate for me to ask you, are you
Well, hey,
considering or no?
Microsoft Office, yeah. But it's, yeah, if you're not a graphic design person, but you need to do graphics, it's a good thing to use.
That's how I hate to be absent for some meetings.
Well, you know
I don't
what the
know,
rule,
compared to it, one
person's never been
I was gonna say, I've never even met him,
He came to 1 meeting.
well, I mean, the,
Be him.
I mean, the rule is 3 meetings, right? You're allowed to miss 3 meetings, so.
I missed last month. I don't remember why.
You were in Florida.
There we go.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I would love to recommend you, I mean, you You're part of the team. You're
You're a historian.
you're absolutely one of us here, as you can see.
I got it right down here.
Yes, that's right.
I got
That
it
would be
down here.
perfect, and we have it, that's the
Should we
opening.
interview Deb? So how would you have handled it?
The way you did. And you did. I just was
Okay.
parliamentary procedure.
Okay, well, if,
You know, I don't want to say no, but can I still give it a couple weeks?
yes, of
But I mean,
course,
I will-
absolutely.
I could probably come to the January meeting, but then I probably couldn't come to February, maybe not March, because I just know that it might not be possible.
That's fine.
And so then I don't want to be like a former town board member, and then people would say, oh, that you're absent. I mean,
Mhm.
I've worked 14 years for a good name, and I don't want to like
Right.
do something
So, and
where I
just,
don't look good.
all right, we're still, so all I want you to know is that I know we all would love to have you be part of this commission, okay? Absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say, think about it, and then the other thing is, do we know who, I mean, there'll be a new liaison?
I was gonna say, do they recommend you,
There
like,
would be a new liaison, and I don't know who that would be.
Okay,
The supervisor would, he decides all the liaisons, so.
okay, all right. Okay, so let's, yeah, this is all, we're still live here, just so you know. So,
Oh, okay, good that you told me that.
yes,
Yeah.
so I want you to, I want you to seriously
I won't
consider it.
say no yet, I'll still
Okay.
take it under
That would be
advisement.
wonderful. That
Okay.
would just be a wonderful thing. All right, anything else on membership? No? Okay, so
we could get these two, would be gold.
that would be great. All right, so before we adjourn, I want to say something. Can I say it? And I had to write it out because otherwise I wasn't going to be able to say it right. This is the last commission where we have the privilege of having our deputy supervisor, Deborah Buckeye, as our liaison. And it is with great pleasure that I express our deepest thanks to you for, it's been almost 4 years that you've been on, that you've been the liaison.
Supervisor Culpa appointed me in 2018. 6 years with this group.
Wow.
That was before you guys came on.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's, okay. So when Ellen was here, you were still,
Yes,
that's
I
right,
was.
you were.
I
That's
was
right.
working with Ellen.
So for 6 years, that is amazing. I guess what I wanted to say is your role here has been well beyond a title. You've been an integral part of our team, offering guidance, wisdom, and your wealth of experience that has greatly contributed to our preservation endeavors. Your commitment to the cause is so evident, not only in your words, but in your actions when you don't, not just, you not only attend our meetings, but you attend our trainings, and you attended all of the Zoom calls. You guys may not be aware of all of the Zooms that we had for Planning Preservation Day and everything. She was on the call like we were, right from the bottom up, helping us so much.
And there's small committees.
And so, yes, that's right, and on the statute committee on everything. So it's really been an honor for me to have gotten to know you and been able to work with you for the last 4 years for me, and I know that we all feel the same way. And so I'm hoping that it's not a goodbye and that it's maybe just a transition into a new role with this commission. But if you decide that you're, unable to continue, it's certainly understood, and best wishes on the future endeavors, whatever they might be, if you do decide that you don't want to stay.
Well, I just want to thank you. It has been a pleasure and a delight to work with all of you. And it's been an honor for me to serve the people of the town and to serve as a liaison to the various committees. I take the liaisonships very seriously. I try to come to as many meetings as possible, to be involved, to contribute. And it's nice of you to say that you recognize that I really did try to do that. And I've learned a lot by working with all of you. And I admire your preparation, your dedication. And I want to thank all of you. And I want to thank the staff. And please tell Dan Howard we thank him. It's an excellent group of people to work with. And you're operating on a very high intellectual level. And that's what I always found to be very challenging and refreshing. And I thoroughly enjoyed helping all of you. So thank you very much, and it's been my honor to serve. I've never, when I was a kid in high school, did I ever think I'd be on the town board, you know? And so I don't take this for granted. And when I first was elected in 2006, my son said to me, remember, you are a placeholder in the position you have while you have it. You don't own the position, and I've never forgotten that. So I've always just valued the opportunity to sit up here and to look out at the people in the audience. And it's just, it's been such a wonderful opportunity in my life to be able to do something like this that I never could have imagined that I could have done. I have to thank, though, my son was very helpful with my campaigns. He's a master strategist, and he just knew what to do to help me. And my husband, who can't really help because of his position, he was always there to support me when I had to campaign, and then actually doing my job. Right now, he's watching the grandchildren so that I can be here. And my son and daughter-in-law are at a junior league holiday dinner, and they're actually picking me up pretty soon. And so, so we coordinate our schedule so that people can do what they have to do, and we work together as a team. And then my late parents, they always believed in me and thought I could be a success and always encouraged me. And I just have to mention my father was a grandmaster for checker playing, and we used to go with him to tournaments to Ohio here and there. And he was one of the 10 best checker players in the world at one point. And never did I imagine all that time just watching him with the moves and studying the books that I learned about competition. And, you know, and not being afraid of competition, and to have the resilience to do what you have to do in a tough spot. And that was what my parents taught me. So I wouldn't be here without all that support. So thank you for listening, and thank you for what you've said. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want to chime in very quickly that I met Debbie in 1984 when we joined Junior League, and so much of what you just said, Debbie, comes to mind. And she quickly rose to presidency of that organization, as well as being the historian of countless show houses. I went on to meet her again as she was campaigning for either town clerk or town board, and her perseverance to win those offices did not surprise me at all. I am proud to have known her for 40 years and to have known a woman who didn't shy away from government as so many women do. And bravo to you, Debbie, for a lifetime of service.
Thank you, Mary Lou. It's been a pleasure to know you. We go way back.
Yes, we do.
We go way
And
back.
your father, I
You knew
got
my
to
father.
know your father.
You did.
Dapper with a tam o' shanter on the top and dressed to the nines. Yes, I did. It gives me chills.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
All right, that's all I've got, so we want to make a motion to adjourn.
Well, before I make a motion to adjourn, I'd like to thank Sue Palmer for being the chair of this Amherst Historic Preservation Commission for the last 4 years. I remember the first meeting that I attended with her, I said, hey, you're going to be the new chair. And she was like, what? And here we are 4 years later, a lot of meetings at this dais, a lot of meetings on Zoom and via phone calls. And it was her idea to do Preservation Day, and by golly, we did it, and we did it 3 times, and I hope it continues on, and it's gonna be bigger and better when it moves to Central Park. And it's all because of your brainstorming and ideas, and I think we've accomplished a lot. New local landmark under your watch as well. So thank you very, very much for everything you've done.
Well, it's been my pleasure. It's been great working with all you guys, and, you know, I'm still around, so you can always call me, and if there's anything I can do to help when I'm not in Florida, I am happy to still be here. You really have, you know, it's funny, until you do the year-end report, at least I've always felt like, gee, you know, we didn't accomplish much, but then when you do these year-end reports, part of the benefit of having this is you go, wow, we really did do a lot of work. And so, so bravo to everyone on this commission for all the work that you've done, and I've really
have something
enjoyed
to
it.
say about Sue also. I know you all wish that I would, but she just joined an organization does all that in a lifetime. So Sue never sat in the shadows either.
And I'd like to make a motion, and I'm hoping someone seconds, to recommend to the town board that Sue Palmer be made the newest resource person for the
Yes.
Amherst Historic
Yes.
Preservation Commission. Seconded by Mary Lou. All in favor? Aye.
Okay, put that on the, put that on the resolution too.
Well, thank you. That would be great. All right, anything else? Now can we make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
End 2023.